family never goes on there.
Find out why one UGA student avoids Highway 316 at all costs.
Find out why a group of students was thrown out of a Board of Regents meeting next.
The fact that locally levels of E. coli and other dangerous bacteria have been found in our waterways is disturbing, very disturbing. It's not.
Next, find out how the Georgia Environmental Protection Division is addressing this Oconee County citizens' concerns.
This is Northeast Georgia's only local source for TV news. From the Grady College of the University of Georgia, this is Grady Newsource.
Good evening, I'm Mary Grace Shaw.
And I'm Valerie Burgos. Our top story tonight, 10 years and nearly $1 billion. That's what it's going to take to stop the deaths and injuries that make Highway 316 so dangerous. Grady Newsource reporter Anna Clark joins us live to show us why, after decades of deadly crashes, the money is finally able to revamp the roadway and save lives.
Here's an example of one of the problems on this highway, a stop sign rather than a ramp or an overpass to help cars merge onto this busy highway. According to one member of the Georgia Department of Transportation, when this highway was built, there wasn't enough funding to build it safely. But GOT Commissioner Jamie Boswell says that's going to change. And that's good news for one UGA student who nearly lost his life on this highway about 1.5 years ago. Austin Leonard wouldn't drive on Highway 316.
There have been other accidents through family, friends, and through a church and that sort of thing, where I've known that 316 has been so dangerous, and so I've always avoided it.
One day, though, he made an exception.
I was traveling from Athens down 316 to deliver just some information for some summer classes I was taking at home.
That day had near fatal consequences for Leonard.
And one time I did go on 316. I was in a very bad car accident.
Barrow County Sheriff Judd Smith says that's just part of the history of Highway 316.
It's a dangerous highway, I'll be honest with you. I think the first day that it opened in Barrow County, I think we had a fatality.
And the wrecks haven't stopped. The Barrow County Sheriff says that in the past 6 months, his deputies have responded to 116 wrecks on Highway 316. And just down the road in Gwinnett County, 2 boys died in a wreck just last week. Now, one of the overpasses is finished, but as I said before, it'll take about 10 years to finish the project. Live from Highway 316, I'm Anna Clark.
Thank you, Anna.
The Madison County Sheriff's Department needs your help locating a bank robber. Take a look at this photo. This man is accused of stealing from First Citizens Bank in Hull yesterday afternoon. He was last seen running toward Norwood on Old Danielsville Road. He had a firearm on him at the time of the robbery. If you have any information about this person or his whereabouts, please call the Madison County 911 Center at 706-795-2101.
40 protesters demanding that undocumented students have the right to attend Georgia's premier colleges are back home tonight after police threw them out of a state meeting tonight. The protesters crashed a Board of Regents meeting in Atlanta this morning. Grady Newsource reporter Dylan Richards has been following the statewide fight between the students who are here illegally and the Board of Regents. He joins us live tonight with more. Dylan?
Yeah, Valerie, actually I just heard from a representative for USG, that's the University System of Georgia, and I'll actually read his statement to me right to you. He said, while we respect our students' right, he said, we respect our students' right to free speech. Our chairman offered the protesters the opportunity to have a spokesperson address the board on the group's behalf. They declined that offer to speak and were allowed to remain in the building silently protesting until, he goes on to say, until they obscured the speaker, disrupting the proceeds of the meeting, at which point they were thrown out of the meeting. Now, the protesters were there today protesting a law that we reported on just a couple of weeks ago in our special report, Unwanted. That's a law that bans undocumented students from attending the top schools in the state of Georgia. Now, the protesters that were there today, some here legally, some here illegally, they didn't say anything at the meeting today, but their actions spoke volumes. The students here legally wore their school's logos on their shirts. The ones here illegally wore duct tape over their mouths. They stood up in the middle of the meeting and were silent the whole time. When asked to take their seats, they did. by standing on top of them. Then, the Capitol Police threw them out of the building. President of UGA's Young Democrats, Emma Crass, was there.
The state of Georgia is trying to silence these students with this policy, and that even though that's the case, the students are still standing up against those injustices.
Now, according to the board's online agenda, the regents weren't scheduled to talk about undocumented students at today's meeting. I did try to talk with some board members. I got in touch with Regent Dean C. Alford. He told me he couldn't comment on this because of the the litigation that's going on right now with the Board of Regents. Valerie?
Thanks, Dylan. The state Supreme Court has the case and could rule on it in the next 5 months.
The sun came out today, but some parts of Athens are still feeling the effects from the rain. Flash floods caused more than 43,000 gallons of sewage to spill into the North Oconee River last week. The heavy rainfall caused 2 manholes to overflow and push sewage into the river. According to an Athens environmental engineer, a new sewer upgrade is under design. This upgrade is expected to be completed in fall of 2017, and it will prevent sewage from leaking into rivers. The construction will begin in the spring of 2016, and it will start by fixing the 2 manholes that flooded. An Athens environmental engineer says that the construction should not affect people any more than any other pipeline construction.
This wasn't the first time raw sewage has polluted local waterways, but tonight is the first time that the state agency responsible for keeping our water safe says it's working out a new way to improve testing for potentially deadly bacteria in your recreational water. The Environmental Protection Division tests water safety after sewage spills for one type of bacteria, while the Federal Environmental Protection Agency recommends testing for another far more toxic. It's the latest news in a Grady Newsource Special Water Watch investigation.
We adopted the primary recreational criteria proposed by EPA for our recreational waters on August 25th.
But it could be a full year before the new rule is in place here. Grady Newsource reporter Allison Goins has been investigating this dangerous discrepancy between state and federal law for the last several months. We join her live now at Barber Creek. Allison?
I'm here at Barber Creek Tributary, where back in August, over 5,000 gallons of raw sewage was spilled into this water. Now, following initial testing protocol, the Oconee County Utilities Department, in accordance with EPD standards, deemed this water safe and no further testing was required. However, some private locals did their own private testing and found unacceptable levels of E. coli bacteria in that water. Now, by unacceptable, I mean deemed not safe by the EPA. Their sample showed dangerous E. coli levels more than 4 times that recommended safe by the EPA. Knowing this, I met with some concerned people who are taking action where they believe their local government has failed them.
It's probably been a while since some of these people last took a science class, but here they are, learning how to test the water quality of their local streams. It's a step they decided to take since they learned their water isn't as safe as the state would have them believe.
But our children are playing in the creeks, hopefully they're outside playing in the creeks. Our dogs are running around the creeks. We need to know what's going on. We need to get to a point where there's absolutely nothing going into our waterways and streams worldwide that shouldn't be.
This stream runs through Melissa Steele's backyard. She was disturbed when she found out dangerous levels of the deadly E. coli bacteria were found in Barber Creek Tributary.
A couple of things have come out of those recent spills in our county. One is that it's raised public awareness. 2 is that the public awareness is that we don't always know what's going on in our creeks and streams locally.
In this case, the local Environmental Protection Division testers said the water here was safe. Safe since they were only required to test for fecal coliform, not the deadly E. coli. However, the nation's Environmental Protection Agency recommends testing for far more toxic E. coli bacteria rather than just fecal coliform. But that wasn't what was happening in Oconee County. Local officials said the water was safe, but that wasn't what volunteers found when they decided to use a private lab to test the water themselves. These results clearly indicate excessively high levels of dangerous E. coli bacteria, clearly labeled unacceptable.
It's everything, water. It's the source of life, and we have to take care of it. We have to pay attention. We have to take care of it.
Now, when I was speaking with Elizabeth Booth, she mentioned that EPA recommends testing for E. coli, but the Georgia EPD cannot implement these standards until the EPA formally adopts their proposal, which could take up to a full year. Live in Oconee County, I'm Allison Goins.
Thank you for keeping us up to date on this important story, Allison. There is a huge need in Madison County for school bus drivers. Find out next how the superintendent is proposing to solve the shortage problem.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Morning, Gary. We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you? You know you do. Yeah, but I don't know where to start. That's why we're here. We're free, handsome. I think we're breathtaking. And here to guide you through every step of the way, starting with attendance. Gary, financial aid forms. Biology homework, G. I got this. Is that Bran? Colleges love extracurricular activities. Chess really isn't my thing. I got this. Doesn't matter. Go ahead. Picking a college, man. You and us. Go together like tacos and Tuesday.
And I love tacos.
Fire and ice.
Those don't really go together.
Go to GetSchooled.com for more info.
So you see, son, good manners are important. Should I go through it again?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Exactly. Always say please, thank you, you're welcome, excuse me, sit up straight, hold doors open for ladies. If the door's locked, knock first. Don't burp, don't swear, don't stare, don't use bad language, or talk with your mouth full. Keep your elbows off the table.
What table?
Don't interrupt. Cover your mouth when you cough or sneeze. On the bus, give your seat up to anybody who has trouble standing. Bottom line, treat others the way you want to be treated. Got it?
Got it.
Good talk.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
An Athens-based clothing company is getting ready to appear on an episode of Shark Tank, a television show that provides entrepreneurs the opportunity to showcase their ideas with hopes that the judges would invest money on their business. Co-founder of Umano, Alexander Torrey, says it took them a year to make it to the final round of the show, but he's optimistic that it will be all worth it.
There's a lot to do, and then getting ready to answer a lot of emails and tweets and Facebook messages, and then make sure that we take a few minutes to enjoy the episode and get to watch it with the team, and then celebrate, and then get right to work.
Torrey says the money they receive will be used to expand their business, which in turn will benefit the kids around Athens. For every shirt sold, a book bag is donated to a child in Athens, Clark County. A viewing party is set to take place on Friday, November 20th in the Boar's Head downtown. Everyone is welcome to attend.
School bus drivers are needed. You see the signs posted in the downtown area in Madison County. Tonight, the system's school superintendent plans to ask his board to give him the okay to put a unique plan in place to address the shortage. Reporter Kara Murphy explains how it will work.
Call today. These signs say it all. These signs are why Madison County School Superintendent Alan McCannon is asking for this. A new incentive program that features bonuses to attract new drivers. According to this handout, the new Bus Driver Referral Incentive Program rewards people who recommend a great driver, and rewards great drivers too. The catch is, when you refer a new bus driver, that driver has to make it through training and drive for a year. But if they do it, you get $250, and the driver's eligible for a one-time bonus of $500. Superintendent McCannon says he hopes it works.
Right behind me, you can see where the buses are held during the day at Madison County. The superintendent told me that some of these buses have to take double routes because of the shortage of bus drivers.
The Madison County school system has 91 buses. Those buses that take 69 different routes. And per day, the routes cover more than 4,200 miles. Kara Murphy, Grady Newsource.
Superintendent Alan McCannon says he hopes the new incentive program will help fill the need for bus drivers. If you are interested in becoming a bus driver, just call the number you see on the screen.
Sunshine! I'll have your weather forecast next.
Hey, this job looks perfect. It says you need people skills? Check. Driver's license? Check. And a high school diploma. You've got one of those, right?
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
I got that. You are good to go.
Take that first step towards a better future. Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
A boy born in Joplin, Missouri was fascinated by anything with wheels and a motor. The odds of him going on to fascinate millions with his talent? 1 in 260,000. The odds of this born racer having 157 career top 10 finishes in NASCAR? 1 in 125 billion. The odds of him winning both the Daytona 500 and the Brickyard 400 in the same year? 1 in 195 million. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism? 1 in 68. I'm NASCAR driver Jamie McMurray, and my niece has autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
And now, the weather.
Some good news. We got a visit from the sun today.
Yes, that was very much a welcome sight. But Bliss, is this something that's going to continue, or should we keep our umbrellas handy?
Well, we're definitely going to see a lot more sun this week, but I wouldn't put away that umbrella just yet. Let's look at tonight's weather forecast, though. Tonight we have a low of 43 degrees, mostly clear skies with a little bit of wind coming out of the west. Moving into tomorrow, though, for Veterans Day, it's going to be a beautiful day, so definitely take advantage of that if you can. A high of about 70 degrees, sunny with a nice gentle breeze. It should be a really nice day tomorrow. Moving into Wednesday night, that's going to drop down to 53 degrees. Now this is where the rain's going to start trying to creep back in. There's a chance of showers and thunderstorms, but not until about 2 a.m., so it shouldn't affect your day at all. And we are going to have a lot more sunshine, but there still is a flood warning in effect, mostly for the Oconee River near Penfield, and that's going to affect Clark and Oconee counties. This is in effect until Thursday morning. Right now, the flood stage is at 13 feet. Now, when it reaches 15 feet, that's when you're really going to start to see the effects with flooding into the surrounding pastures and woodlands, so it's definitely something to keep an eye on. Moving into our area lows, we have an average temperature of 43 degrees. As you can see, Athens is sitting right on the average, with Rome and Blairsville dropping even lower into the 30s. Moving on to our average highs of the area, the average is 67. If you see, the surrounding areas are all looking pretty nice, with Athens sitting at 69 degrees. So let's move on to our 5-day forecast. A lot more sunshine this week, thank goodness for that. The highs mostly in the 60s. Getting up to 70 degrees tomorrow and getting chillier as we head towards the weekend. Now, the only chance of rain we see this week is going to be Wednesday night moving into Thursday, so it should still be a pretty nice week. Get out there and enjoy the weather. For your Northeast Georgia weather forecast, I'm Bliss Savage.
A win against Big Blue Nation may have silenced the critics temporarily, but a loss against Auburn this week could start the noise again. Find out what Rick had to say coming up next.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Thanks for coming in for the interview.
Oh, yeah, of course.
All right, we got your personal references, your resume, high school diploma or equivalent.
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
Yes, it's right there.
Great.
Take that first step towards a better future. Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
Look at me. Hey.
Raymond, look at Mommy.
Maybe the light hurts his eyes.
Maybe she's just not hungry. Maybe he can't hear us. Maybe we're not stimulating him enough. Maybe it's a phase.
Avoiding eye contact is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
University of Georgia head football coach Mark Richt tells a crowd today he knows he and the Dogs better bring home a W from Auburn this weekend. A Georgia victory this past Saturday finally quieted some of the critics, but Richt knows that could be temporary. Here you see Sony Michel make a touchdown on a simple toss play, and then there's running back Keith Marshall. Those two and a couple others gave the Dogs the 27-3 victory over Kentucky. Rick said today, win or lose, he doesn't mind the scrutiny.
It's part of the reason why college football is so fun is because the passion of the people, but it's also what makes it tough is because when things don't go well, somebody wants to let you know about it.
The winner of this weekend's UGA-Auburn matchup will break the head-to-head tiebreaker in the series. Kickoff is at noon on Saturday. Former NFL coach Jim Mora gave the sports world a rant to remember when he asked the simple question, playoffs? Well, high school football teams can start preparing for the playoffs. Here's a look at how local teams finished following this season. In Region 8 5A, Cedar Shoals finished the season at 2-8 overall and 2-7 in region play. On the other side of the tracks, Clark Central finished at 4-6 overall and 4-5 in region play, right above Cedar Shoals. Both teams missed the playoffs, but Clark Central has the head-to-head bragging rights on the gridiron. Clark gave Cedar a goose egg on 9/11, defeating the Jaguars 29-0. In Region 8 4A, North Oconee squeaked into the playoffs with a 5-5 record to claim Region 8 4A's last playoff spot. In Region 8 3A, Oconee County claimed a number 2 seed after going 8-2 on this season and winning a nail-biter against region opponent Jefferson earlier this year. In Region 8 1A, things get a little tricky. The top 16 single-A private schools in the state will be granted a chance to be crowned top dog. As of last week's power rankings, Prince Avenue Christian is number 2 in the state with an unblemished 11-0 record. Athens Academy is number 6 at 9-1, only loss coming to Prince Avenue Christian. Athens Christian currently sits at number 17 with a 6-4 record, but a win Friday against Hebron Christian may help its case. The Georgia High School Association releases the private school rankings later today, and playoffs will begin on Friday.
Find out why these kangaroos were on the UGA campus today, next.
One day, when the glory comes, it will be ours.
Dr. King, what's your next move?
In March from Selma to Montgomery.
Selma is loud for every man, woman, and child.
We will not wait any longer.
In front of a crowd.
Okay, Simon, what do people wear?
Clothes.
That's right, so it's important to learn how to dress yourself. Here's how it's done. Shirt, underwear, pants, socks, shoes. Underwear, always first, name tag on the back. Then pants and shirt. Go ahead and put this on. Now with the shirt, you want to make sure the first button's right or you have to start all over again, okay? Socks left on left, right on right. Tying the shoes, we're gonna take the laces, we're gonna cross them over, we're gonna turn around where the bunny goes down in the hole, pull it tight, and bunny ears. Got it?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
Hey, Gabby, how you doing? How's the play date and sleepover?
Dad, it was great.
Awesome. Okay, I'm on my way. Hey, guys, what are you doing?
We're going swimming. We're going biking. Yeah!
I'll see you in a little bit, guys. I love you.
Hi, babe. How was school today?
Hi, Dad. It was great.
Okay, honey. I'll be home soon. Remember, you're never too far away from your kids to be a dad. Reach out and take a second to check in, because sometimes the smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
Walmart is honoring those who served our country this Veterans Day with this Green Light campaign. The campaign asks people to put a green light bulb in a visible location on porches as a symbol of appreciation for veterans. One local veteran says he switched his front porch light to green.
Somebody really cares about us. Somebody really cares about us. It makes me feel good right now. I feel very happy to be behind this.
A spokesman for Walmart says the company is very excited by the response from people in Georgia to the campaign. You can share your support by posting a picture using the hashtag #GreenLightTavet.
And now for the stories you can find only online. Reporter Chelsea Beinfor has your daily digital wrap.
The fourth Republican presidential debate is tonight at 7 p.m. Go to GradyNewsource.com where we've posted what you can hear from the various candidates. You'll also find a schedule of the remaining GOP and Democratic primary debates leading up to the 2016 presidential election. Things were hopping over at UGA's Tate Center this morning. Take a look at these sweet kangaroos. They were here as an effort to attract attention to a UGA study abroad program to Australia. There's more cute kangaroo video at GradyNewsource.com.
Good night, I'm Mary Grace Shaw.
And I'm Valerie Burgos.